God, prepare me for what I am praying for. Do not allow my lips to utter requests that my heart is not yet strong enough to carry. Do not let me cry out for blessings while my character remains too fragile to sustain them. Do not let me ask for doors to open when I have not yet learned how to walk faithfully through the thresholds you set before me. Instead, Lord, mold me, refine me, and shape me into one who is not only ready to receive but ready to steward what I have long been seeking. Because it is one thing to desire a gift, but another to be able to carry the weight of that gift. It is one thing to pray for abundance, but another to have the discipline to manage it with wisdom. It is one thing to cry out for love, but another to embody love so deeply that I do not ruin what you send. It is one thing to desire influence, but another to remain humble when others look to me as a leader. So, God, prepare me for what I am praying for. Waiting with purpose. Father, teach me that waiting is not punishment, it is preparation. Many times I confuse delay with denial. I think that because my prayers have not been answered in my timing, you must not care, or you must have turned your face away from me. But deep down I know your delays are never rejections. They are training grounds. You are teaching me to wait with purpose. You are cultivating patience within me, reminding me that a blessing given too soon can become a burden. A child may ask for keys to a car, but if the child does not yet know how to drive, the very thing they desire could destroy them. In the same way, Lord, I see that sometimes I ask for things I am not yet mature enough to handle. You, as the loving Father, are not withholding from me. You are protecting me. You are preparing me so that when I do receive it, I will not squander it. So while I wait, help me grow. Strengthen my spirit, deepen my wisdom, guard my heart from bitterness. Teach me to rejoice even when the answer has not come. Let me be faithful in the small, so I can be trusted with the great. Preparing my character, Lord, I realize that many of my prayers are not just about changing my circumstance, they are about changing me. I ask for financial breakthrough, but you may be calling me to learn discipline, contentment, and stewardship first. I ask for love, but you may be teaching me forgiveness, patience, and selflessness before I meet the one you have destined for me. I ask for promotion, but you may be training me in humility and diligence before you elevate me. So God, prepare my character. Do not allow me to step into rooms my integrity cannot sustain. Do not allow me to hold positions my humility cannot protect. Do not allow me to enter relationships my brokenness will sabotage. Instead, refine me until my inner life is strong enough to match the outer blessings I seek. Like gold refined by fire, burn away my impurities. Burn away pride, selfishness, fear, envy, and doubt. Burn away impatience and the desire to control. Replace these with faith, gratitude, gentleness, and endurance. I don't just want the blessing, I want to become someone worthy of it. Strength for the weight of blessings, Lord. I have often prayed for doors to open, for opportunities to come, for abundance to overflow. But sometimes I forget that blessings have weight. Success has pressure. Love has responsibility. Influence has demands. Even joy requires maturity, for joy is not simply a fleeting feeling but a posture of the soul. So God, give me strength for the weight of blessings. Teach me not to see blessings as ease, but as assignments. If you grant me abundance, help me to be generous. If you grant me influence, help me to lead with humility. If you grant me love, help me to nurture it with sacrifice. If you grant me vision, help me to pursue it with endurance. Do not let me crumble under the very things I once begged you for. Instead, prepare me so that the answer to my prayer will not destroy me, but build me, sustain me, and point others back to you. Trust in your timing, Lord. So often I want things quickly. I want my miracle today, my breakthrough tomorrow, my answer now. But your timing is perfect. You see the whole picture. While I only see a fragment, I see the immediate, but you see eternity, and sometimes what I call Aelita is actually right on time in your divine calendar. So prepare me to trust your timing. Remind me that every delay carries purpose, every closed door protects me, every Aonotiyata is an invitation to grow. Teach me that waiting is not wasteta, it is worship, it is learning to lean not on my own understanding but on your wisdom, like a seed that must remain buried in the soil before it bursts forth into life. Let me embrace hidden seasons, because just as flowers bloom in their appointed time, so, too will my prayers unfold when you declare Iono. Lord, sometimes preparing for what I am praying for means stepping into a space of faith where the tangible is absent, where the evidence of your promise is not yet visible to my human eyes. It requires me to trust in what I cannot yet grasp, to hold fast to hope when the world around me shouts doubt and discouragement. It asks me to proclaim your promises over my life, even when they seem distant, like stars obscured by a stormy night. Faith in its truest form is not a passive waiting but an active clinging to your word, a bold declaration that your truth outweighs my circumstances. So I ask, Lord, that you strengthen this fragile faith within me, build it like a fortress unshaken by the winds of uncertainty, unmoved by the weight of delay. Help me to believe that the desires you have placed in my heart are not cruel teases, not fleeting whims to taunt me, but seeds planted with purpose, meant to grow into fulfillment in your perfect timing and way. You are not a God who dangles hope only to snatch it away. You are a God who prepares, who shapes, who molds. When you stir a longing in my soul, it is not to leave me empty, but to guide me toward something greater, something aligned with your divine plan. Yet I confess, there are moments when my faith wavers. The waiting feels too long, the obstacles too high, the silence too heavy. In those moments, Lord, remind me that what seems impossible to me is already possible in your hands. You are the God who parts seas, who raises the dead, who turns barren wastelands into flourishing gardens. What I see as a dead end, you see as a doorway. What I perceive as a delay, you are weaving into a masterpiece of timing. So bolster my courage to hold on when weariness creeps in, to press forward when quitting seems easier, and to trust that you, who began a good work in me, will be faithful to bring it to completion. Your promises are not empty, they are alive, active, and sure. Help me to anchor my soul in that truth. But God, more than anything, I pray that you align my heart with yours. My desires left unchecked can lead me astray. I am prone to chasing what sparkles on the surface, what promises quick satisfaction, what looks good to my flesh but may poison my spirit. Sometimes I pray for things that are not meant for me, things that would pull me away from your purpose rather than draw me closer to it. Sometimes I long for what seems good but would ultimately harm me, like a child reaching for a shiny object that is sharp to the touch. So I ask you, Lord, to recalibrate my desires. Teach me to want what you want, to seek what you deem good, to pursue what aligns with your kingdom, rather than my own fleeting whims. Let my prayers rise not from a place of self-centeredness but from a heart that seeks your glory, your will, your eternal treasures over temporary pleasures. If what I am asking for is not meant for me, close the door gently but firmly. If what I desire is too small, too limited compared to the vastness of your plans, stretch my vision to see the greater thing you have in store. If what I long for is dangerous to my soul, remove it from my path even if I resist. Protect me from myself, Lord. Guard me from settling for less when you have more in mind. Keep me from clinging to what is comfortable but ultimately unfulfilling. I do not want to arrive at a blessing unprepared, grasping for something I am not ready to carry. So shape me, refine me, prepare me not just for what I can praying for, but for what you have destined. Let my heart be a mirror of yours, reflecting your priorities, your values, your love. Sometimes, Lord, I realize that the answers to my prayers do not always come in the form I expect. I pray for peace, and instead of changing my circumstances, you call me to release the bitterness we've been harboring. I pray for provision, and instead of a windfall, you teach me to steward what I already have with wisdom and gratitude. I pray for love, and you show me that love begins with forgiveness, with letting go of grudges, with opening my heart to others even when it feels risky. Your answers are not always external, often they are internal, transforming me from the inside out. You call me to become the answer to my own prayers. You call me to embody peace in a chaotic world, to carry love into broken places, to live generously even when I feel lacking, to walk by faith when doubt is easier. The greatest miracles I am learning often begin within me long before they manifest around me. So prepare me, Lord, not only to receive your blessings but to become a vessel through which your blessings flow. Let me be a living testimony of your peace, your love, your generosity, your faithfulness. This preparation is not always easy. It requires patience when I want instant results, wisdom when I want instant results, wisdom when act impulsively, sacrifice when rather hold on to my comfort. It demands discipline when my flesh craves ease, humility when pride rises up, and surrender when I want to control the outcome. So I pray, Lord, for the grace to embrace this process. If my answered prayer requires patience, teach me to wait with joy, trusting that your timing is perfect. If it requires wisdom, pour out your understanding, that I may discern your path. If it demands sacrifice, give me the strength to lay down what I must, knowing that what I gain in you is far greater. If it calls for discipline, shape my habits, refine my choices, align my daily walk with your purpose. And if it requires humility, break the pride that keeps me from fully surrendering to you. Strip away the layers of self-reliance, of arrogance, of entitlement, until all that remains is a heart yielded to your will. I do not want to arrive at your promise unprepared, clutching a blessing not ready to steward. I do not want to reach the miracle immature, unable to carry it with the grace and responsibility it demands. Instead, let me be like a tree planted by streams of water, as the psalmist writes, rooted deep in your truth, drawing sustenance from your spirit, bearing fruit in its season, unshaken by the storms of life. Let my faith be steadfast, my character refined, my heart aligned with yours. Because, Lord, I do not just want an answered prayer. I want to be transformed by the journey to it. I do not just want the blessing. I want to carry it well, to steward it faithfully, to use it for your glory. I do not just want the miracle. I want to live in a way that points others to you, that magnifies your name, that reflects your heart. This transformation you are working in me is not a one-time event, not a single moment of decision, not a fleeting emotion stirred by inspiration. It is a continual yielding, a daily surrender, an ongoing work of grace. Each day as the sun rises, I am invited again into the sacred choice. Will I trust you, or will I lean on my own understanding? Will I follow where you lead, or will I try to carve my own way forward? Transformation, I am learning, is not about instant change but about steady molding, about daily trust, about surrendering layer by layer, moment by moment, thought by thought. Each day, Lord, I must rise and decide anew. I must choose to release my tight grip on control, to let go of my plans, those carefully constructed blueprints of how I think life should unfold, and place them into your hands, which weave stories far greater, far more beautiful, far more purposeful than anything I could imagine. Each morning I must ask for your strength because mine is never enough. I must ask for your wisdom, for the path before me is never as straightforward as I expect. I must ask for your grace because I stumble, I falter, I hesitate. And yet you never withdraw your hand, and so I remind myself, again and again, that you are faithful. When my vision is clouded, you still see clearly. When my strength is drained, yours is unshakable. When I lose hope, you whisper promises that anchor me. You are good not sometimes, not when circumstances align, but always. You are working even in silence, even in shadows, even in the moments where nothing seems to move. All things you promise ye're being woven together for my good, and for your glory, even when my eyes cannot trace the thread. Your ways, Lord, are higher than mine. Your thoughts are deeper, wiser, stronger. Your plans are more perfect than the brightest dreams I could script. And so I shift my trust not to my own strength, not to my limited reasoning, not to the voices of doubt, but to you, to your unchanging character, to your unfailing love, to the God who never breaks a promise. In prayer, I realize again that your preparation is not only about the destination. It is not only about arriving at the blessing, not only about receiving the answered prayer. It is about the journey. Every step matters. Every delay carries purpose. Every waiting season is not wasted time but fertile ground where roots grow deeper. You are preparing me not only for what I ask but for the life you've called me to live. In this shaping process you are teaching me to carry your presence, not just in moments of worship but in the ordinary space, at the table, at work, in conversations, in solitude. You are teaching me to reflect your light, not only when it is easy to shine, but when the world grows dim and hope seems scarce. You are teaching me to walk in truth even when lies shout loudly, and in this preparation I am discovering treasures more valuable than any answered prayer. Intimacy with you, closeness with your heart, and the joy of simply being in your presence. Yes, the answered prayer will be beautiful. But what I find in the waiting, peace that holds me, the lessons that shape me, the growth forged in. The growth forged in struggle, these are eternal riches, treasures that no circumstance can strip away. These are the jewels of faith, more radiant than silver or gold. Lord, I come before you again bowing low, not merely with words but with the posture of my heart. I confess I am not always ready for what I ask you for. I long for blessing, for doors to open, for promises to manifest, yet in my humanness I recognize that so often I grow impatient, distracted, or unprepared. So I pray again, Lord, prepare me. Not simply my circumstances, for you govern time and you appoint seasons as you will, but prepare me within. Shape me into a vessel fit for the outpouring of your promises. Mold me in such a way that when the moment arises, when the breakthrough comes, I do not shrink back, nor stumble, nor misuse the gift you entrust, but instead stand ready, steadfast and faithful, for I know, Lord, that a blessing unprepared for can become a stumbling block. A door opened before I am ready to walk through it can overwhelm me, rather than propel me. A promise fulfilled before my soul is steady can slip from my grasp if my crane roots are too shallow. So I pray not only for the arrival of your good things but for the shaping of a heart that can carry them. Prepare my heart, Lord, so that it remains soft toward you, surrendered and pliable in your hands. Guard me against the hardness that comes with pride or self-reliance, against the bitterness that can creep in through disappointment, against the weariness that dulls my devotion. Break up the soil of my heart again and again, that your word may take deep root, springing up into fruit that endures. Prepare my mind, O Lord, for I know how quickly it can wander. Renew it daily in your truth so that it does not conform to the fleeting patterns of this world. When doubt speaks loudly, let your promises be louder still. When fear tries to grip me, let your word stand as my anchor. Saturate my thoughts with the wisdom from above, thoughts that are true, noble, pure, lovely, praiseworthy, aligned with Christ. Remove the lies I have triced. believed about myself, about others, or about you. Wash them away with the cleansing flow of your scripture, and renew in me a mind that is steady, disciplined, attentive to your spirit. For when my mind is steadfast, I can discern your will, I can wait with patience, I can act with courage. Prepare my soul, Lord, in the innermost place. Teach it to delight not in what my eyes can see, nor in the fleeting success this world applauds, but in your spirit. Train me to find my joy not merely in the receiving of blessings, but in the giver himself. May I fellowship with you even in silence, sing to you even in sorrow, and rest in you even in uncertainty. Let my soul learn to abida, to dwell continually in the presence of Christa, so that whether in waiting or in fulfillment, I remain secure, content, steadfast. And in this preparation, Lord, give me the virtues that will sustain me. If courage is required, then clothe me in your boldness, like Joshua. May I be strong and courageous, not terrified, not discouraged, but confident, because you go with me wherever I go. When the path is daunting, when the opposition rises, when my own strength fails, may the courage granted by your Spirit carry me forward. If patience is needed, and I know it will be, then deepen my trust so that I do not run ahead of you. For I confess, Lord, waiting often feels heavy, it feels like silence, as though nothing is happening. Yet in your kingdom, waiting is never wasted. In waiting, you refine me. In waiting, you align me. Teach me patience, that is not passive resignation but active trust. Patience that hopes against hope, that leans into you, that glorifies you even in the waiting hours. If love is the requirement, and love always is, then enlarge my heart, Lord. Expand my capacity both to give and to receive. Cast out fear, for perfect love drives out fear. Deliver me from self-protection, from the walls I build to guard myself from hurt. Teach me to love without reservation as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Teach me to love not only when it is convenient, not only when it is reciprocated, but when it costs me, when it demands sacrifice, when it requires grace again and again. May this love be the hallmark of my life so that others see Christ in me. If surrender is what you ask, and often this is the call, then loosen my grip on control, how tightly I hold to my own agendas, my timelines, my way of doing things. Yet how much better is your will, how much higher are your ways, how much richer are your plans. Teach me to let go not grudgingly but joyfully, trusting that relinquishing my grasp does not mean losing but gaining, for to yield to you is to align with the very one who holds all things together. Teach me surrender that is not defeat but peace, not resignation but exaltation of your perfect will. Form me, Lord, into someone who does not merely experience your miracles but becomes a living testimony of them. Not someone who hoards blessings but multiplies them for the sake of others. Let me be like the boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish, bringing what little I have so that in your hands it may feed multitudes. Let me be like the servant who invested his talents faithfully, so that what you entrusted multiplied in return. May every blessing you bestow overflow beyond me, touching the hungry, the broken, the weary, the forgotten. Let others be lifted through the overflow, healed through the abundance, encouraged through the testimony of your work in my life. And when the answer does come, when the long-closed door swings open, when the promise at last blossoms before my eyes, prepare me to steward it well, for it will not be enough to simply rejoice at its arrival. Teach me to walk faithfully in its reality. Let me hold it with humility, not pride. Let me honor it with gratitude, not entitlement. And let me steward it with diligence, not carelessness. Let me not forget the lessons of the waiting once the blessing is here. Too often, Lord, comfort dulls intimacy, prosperity weakens dependence, abundance drowns the voice that once quieted me. May it never be so in me. When the blessing comes, let my heart remain just as desperate for you as it was in the waiting. For in the waiting I have learned intimacy with you. In the silence I discovered the treasure of listening. In the testing I gleaned wisdom that no book could teach and no teacher could impart apart from your Spirit. Help me to carry these lessons into the abundance. Let me not lose them when the scenery changes. Let endurance continue to mark me, wisdom continue to guide me, intimacy continue to sustain me. Let my very life be a living offering to you. Not just my words or my actions, but my existence itself a daily act of worship. May every step become an altar, every breath a testimony, every decision a reflection of your glory. May those who see my life no longer see me but Christ in me. May they marvel not at my strength but at the one who strengthens me. May they not applaud my plans but bow in reverence to your wisdom. May my life point again and again to Jesus, the author and perfecter of my faith. Prepare me, Lord. Prepare me not only for blessings but for storms, for the testing of my faith, for the refining of my character. Root me so deeply in your love that no storm can uproot me. Ground me so firmly in your truth that no lie can sway me. Fill me so fully with your Spirit that I live not by my own striving but by your power, alive, radiant, vibrant with the life of Christ. For you are not only the God who answers prayers, you are the God who prepares hearts. Yours is the work of transformation, of sanctification, of renewal. Yours is the work of restoring broken vessels into jars of glory, of taking ashes and breathing beauty, of taking dust and fashioning man in your image. You make all things new, not only the circumstances around me, but the inner chambers of my heart. So here I am, Lord, yielded clay in the hands of the potter. Mold me as you will. Refine me with fire if needed, Lord, even if the flames must be hot, even if they must touch every part of me. Burn away the dross, consume the impurities, and leave only what is pure, holy, and pleasing in your sight. I know that fire is never comfortable, but I also know it is never wasted. For just as the goldsmith sits close by, carefully watching until the gold reflects his face, so too do you, my master craftsman, sit close to me, not letting the fire consume me but using it to purify me. And when you see your reflection in me, you know the work is progressing. Shape me with patience, Lord, for I am clay in your hands, and clay cannot shape itself. Sculpt me into the vessel you desire, not what I imagine, not what the world admires, but what heaven has ordained. Take my impurities and burn them away. Take my rough edges and smooth them down. Take my weaknesses and wrap them in your all-sufficient grace. My weaknesses, Lord, though they embarrass me and humble me, are the very places where your strength shines brightest. As Paul declared, when I am weak, then I am stronger. 2 Corinthians 12:10. For it is there, in those empty spaces, that your Spirit fills me. Teach me not to resist the refining work but to welcome it, to see every hardship not as punishment but as preparation, not as rejection, but as redirection, not as cruelty, but as care. Help me trust that every stroke of your hand is love, every season of shaping is wisdom, every delay is preparation, and every trial is for my good and for your glory. And when it is finished, when at last the blessing unfolds and the story you have written takes form, then let every part of me tremble with holy joy. Let me declare with awe, this is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes. Psalm 118:23. May my lips proclaim it not once but forever. My heart rejoice in it with gratitude that overflows. My mind meditate on it until it is etched in memory, and my soul echo it into eternity. For I will know that every step has been yours, every detail orchestrated by your hand, every promise fulfilled in your perfect timing and will. Until then, Lord, keep me watchful. For how easy it is to slumber in distraction, to be lulled by comfort, to drift into forgetfulness. Keep me awake to the whispers of your Spirit, attentive to the movements of your hand, sensitive to the nudges of your voice. Keep me prayerful, For prayer is not simply words spoken into the air but communion with the living God. Teach me to pray not only for what I want, but for what you want. Keep me surrendered, for surrender is not defeat but victory. Victory over self, over pride, over rebellion. Let me arise each morning not demanding outcomes but seeking your face. For what profit is there in grasping blessings if I lose sight of the blesser? What gain is there in answered prayers if I no longer hunger for the one who answers? And when the day closes, let me lay down each night not weary from striving but resting in your sovereignty. Remind me that the world continues to turn because you sustain it, not because of my endless effort. Let every day between the promise and the fulfillment be lived in steady devotion. Keep me from wasting the in-between in grumbling, in bitterness, in comparison, or in frustration. Instead, may I invest these days in knowing you more deeply, for what I gain in intimacy with you outweighs all that I temporarily lack. For the greatest blessing, beyond all gifts, beyond all dreams, beyond every earthly promise is you yourself. To have you and to be known by you is the treasure above treasures. It is the portion that cannot be taken away, the inheritance that never spoils or fades, the fountain that never runs dry. Oh, whom have I in heaven but you? And earth has nothing I desire besides you. Psalm 73:25. Even if every other desire remains unfulfilled, let my soul find contentment in this truth, Christ in me, the hope of glory. Teach me to live not only for the blessing but from the blessing of already being yours. So prepare me, Lord, not merely for some distant future I cannot yet see, but for this very moment that lies before me. Prepare me to walk faithfully today, to love faithfully today, to obey faithfully today. For today has enough grace of its own, enough opportunities to glorify you, enough divine appointments waiting to be noticed. If I can be faithful with today, I will be faithful for tomorrow. If I can see your hand in the small, I will rejoice even more when it moves in the great. For as Jesus said, he who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much. Luke 16:10. Prepare me, Lord, to be vigilant in the unseen, steadfast in the quiet. Luke 16:10. Thankful in the ordinary. These are the hidden places where you shape me most. It was in the fields far from the palace that David learned to be a king. There among sheep and solitude, he was trained in courage, humility, and worship. It was in the prison, falsely accused and forgotten, that Joseph was prepared to rule a nation. There, in confinement, he learned endurance, forgiveness, and wisdom. It was in the wilderness after 40 years of obscurity that Moses was ready to lead Israel. There in silence and exile, he discovered patience, dependence, and obedience. So too may I not despise the hidden seasons, the anonymous years, the unnoticed days. For here too you are at work, shaping me, preparing me, teaching me, cultivating the kind of character that can sustain the kind of destiny you will entrust. Help me remember that destiny is not built on sudden moments but on years of preparation. Help me to see that waiting is not wasted time but the very womb of transformation. Waiting purifies motives, strengthens faith, and builds trust. Waiting strips away idols and reveals whether I want the gift or the giver. Waiting is holy ground if I learn to stand upon it in faith, worship, and obedience. Therefore I lay my life before you again now, my gifts, my desires, my ambitions, my fears, my waiting, my longing. Everything I am, everything I hope, everything I dream, it is all yours. Nothing is off limits, nothing is withheld. Prepare me, Lord. Sanctify me in your truth, for your word is truth. John 17:17. Establish me in love, for without love, I am nothing. 1 Corinthians 13:2. Empower me with your Spirit, for without your power I cannot endure, cannot witness, cannot overcome. Make me ready in season and out of season for whatever you desire. If you call me to speak, let me speak boldly. If you call me to be silent, let me wait quietly. If you call me to act, let me act faithfully. If you call me to wait, let me wait with hope. And let this be my testimony at the end of it all. Not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to your name be the glory, because of your love and faithfulness. Psalm 115. 1. For your love has held me, your mercy has covered me, your faithfulness has carried me. When the final chapter is written, let it not be said that I achieved by my strength, but that I was upheld by yours. Let it not be remembered that I made my own way, but that I walked the way you set before me. So I end as I began, in surrender. Take me, Lord. Break me if you must, refine me if you will, but do not leave me as I am, for my deepest desire is not merely to be blessed, but to be transformed. My deepest longing is not merely to receive promises, but to reflect your glory. And when all is said and done, may my life sing this refrain: worthy is the Lamb who was slain, to receive power and wealth, and wisdom, and strength and honor and glory and praise. Revelation 5:12. Amen.